What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Season 6, Episode 11. Is this season over yet? This episode. Alright, let's just go and jump into it. So, let's see. Ray J and Princess. It is Melody's birthday. She's 1 year old, but they are having like this 1 week celebration for her. They're flying all their family and friends in. But remember, Ray J trying to get to Vegas for the whole B2K situation. He said it's for business purposes because, he bought into a cannabis business and he is providing the party favors. Also, he said, with the tour looming and them trying to do the whole tour thing, he trying to work that out. And, of course, Princess wasn't having it. Princess was like, first of all, we already don't get enough family time. And then on our daughter's birthday weekend celebration, where we done flown family and friends in, you about to hop over to Vegas and go live your best life? Yeah, I'm not feeling that. And so she picks Melody up and she rolls out the restaurant. But Ray J took his tail to Vegas anyway. It's a cat outside meowing. I don't understand what they meowing for. Anyway. So, back down to Vegas. Lyrica is still depressed. The fellas go out. They hook up with A1. A1 is telling them, look, yeah, I miss Lyrica, and I know that she here, but, I feel like it's best that I just keep my distance and stay over here, because she ain't really checking for me like that. And it is what it is. Until she, in a better spot, I'm going to just stay over here to the side and let her figure it out. And they try to convince him to come back to the house with them. But he's like, yeah, no, that's probably not going to work out. But he does tell them that he really misses her and he's sorry and blah, 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 blah. Back to the house, I was going to say Princess. Paris decides that she's going to cheer Lyrica up by having some scrippers. And she got male strippers and she got female strippers. But when I promise you that these people came straight from Central Casting, these were not strippers. These were people that you put in a bathing suit. These weren't strippers. And as my boy Mickey Monday, these were the worst strippers I have ever seen. And I must concur. The worst strippers that I have ever seen. It was a struggle to watch that. Then Zell, with his bad acting, he gonna show up, and before he even opened up the door good, he pretended like he's surprised to see the strippers there. You knew the strippers were there before y'all got back in there. He talking about let me get some money. Now he gonna pick up the money on the floor that they done already thrown, and he gonna throw it again. And then they proceeded to have a night of whatever with the fake strippers. Booby trying to decide whether he gonna shoot his shot at April, but he like, look, I need to really make sure that things are what they are with, her and Fizz before I shoot my shot. Later on in the episode, April let him know, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Even if there was no Fizz, there would be no us. You a nice guy though, and there's a woman waiting for you. It just ain't me. Anyway, once again, why is Booby here? Why is Booby here? Anyway. All right, let's talk about Jason Lee. Let's just go and get Jason Lee all the way out. Let's just go. So Jason Lee's storyline, and he said that this is the only reason why he came back on this season of Love and Hip Hop was to talk about his brother and gun violence, and try to shed some light on gun violence or whatever. So he has this whole moment where he's going back to Stockton, California, which is where he was born and raised, to have a memorial for his brother. Now I'm thinking his brother had just died, but no, his brother been died. His brother's been dead for about 15, 17 years, because when they show his daughter is damn near grown, and she was 6 weeks old when he was killed. So, okay. but it's a memorial service. And he said, basically, let me try to kill two birds with one stone while I'm here. Me and my dad don't have the best relationship. Maybe this would be an opportunity for me to talk to my dad and clear some things up with us. No, you thought this would be a great opportunity to put your family on camera and discuss your issues, and your family let you know that is not what we here for. Kind of the same way that the Apple's family let her know that's not what we here for. We not having it. So Jason, he lets us know that both of his parents had issues with drugs, and he ended up growing up in foster care. His mom passed away, and he said that on her deathbed, basically he was able to make peace with her, but he's never been able to kind of clear things up with his dad. He felt like, he said, because his father raised his other siblings but never raised him. Even after he had an opportunity, I guess, to raise Jason, he chose not to raise Jason. And he said, my dad is he's not a very affectionate guy. He's not a very lovey-dovey guy. He's never told me he loved me, and blah, blah, blah. So we have this moment where he's with his family, he's with his siblings, and he's telling his siblings how he never felt love from his dad, and he never felt like his dad cared about him, and that, that's why he stayed away, and, and so his older brother, who looked like he fresh off of Cell Block 8, he was like, what we not going to do is we not going to turn this into a dad bashing moment. He really said a male bashing moment on dad, but whatever. He said, that's what we not going to do. He said, and Jason was like, I'm not trying to bash him either. I'm just saying, this is how I feel. This is my truth. This is how I feel. And the brother was like, well, look, he did the best he could. And if that wasn't good enough, then I don't know what to tell you. But he did the best he could. But we ain't going to sit here and bash him on TV. Like, that ain't what we about to do. Baby brother, older brother, whoever he is, he done took the mic off, honey, and he done rolled out, and about 3-4 people rolled out with him. So then his sister was still there, and his sister was like, look, yeah, we just not really feeling this. We understand how you feel about dad, but that is just not our feeling. And, we just feel some kind of way about you trying to, put dad out there like he's a horrible person. Maybe you should call him and y'all should have this conversation privately, one-on-one. Basically, if you got something to say to dad, say it to him, but don't say it in front of the cameras. That's what she told him. So Jason was like, well, I am going to call him. I am going to call him. So he calls his father to set up a breakfast with him. Daddy don't show up. Yeah, daddy don't show up because baby brother and sister then called daddy and told daddy, look, this is what the plan is. This is what he about to do. If you show up, this was about to roll out. This is the storyline that he's trying to spin. So daddy ain't show up. And Jason was like, I don't know why I expected anything different. I don't know why I expected anything different. I mean, this is what he's always done to me. No, everybody don't want their business on TV. Everybody doesn't want to become a storyline. And maybe they agreed to it on the front end and didn't change their mind. I don't know. Maybe you didn't tell them the full extent of what was going on. Maybe they thought you were just coming and filming the memorial service and you wanted to have some family moments. I don't know what they thought. But clearly, once they got there, they were not happy with the direction that they saw this conversation going. And they rolled out and daddy rolled out. So he ended up, he still went to the memorial service. He ended up having a memorial. They went to the grave site and had a moment at the grave site. And they had the memorial. And that's when we met the daughter of his brother who, like I said, she was 6 weeks old when he was killed. Now she looked like she's a teenager now. And they asked her to speak. And she did very well, but she was like, I mean, I don't really have a lot. I was 6 weeks old when he died. I don't really know him like that. She said, but she's heard great things about him that has made, that are special to her, and she cherishes those memories that other people share with her, and it just really warms her heart to see all these people who were still there, even after all of these years, that still had love for, her dad. Jason gets on the mic and he starts talking about, I always looked up to my brother. My brother was in the streets. He was about that street life, and he took me out in the streets with him, and I realized that's not the life I wanted. I was like, are we supposed to be, what? I was like, are we talking about him being a good guy or him being a street guy? Like, what we doing right now? But, he they basically talked about how his brother had always been there for him. It was his older brother, and he always, was there for him and always had love for him or whatever. And, it really meant a lot to him. So ultimately, the memorial went off pretty well, but he didn't get to have that moment with his father that he wanted. The brother that got upset didn't show up for the memorial. The dad didn't show up for the memorial. And a few of his other siblings did not show up. He said, it's 9 of us all together, and only 4 showed up, including my dad, not including my dad, and my dad didn't show up either. And he felt some kind of way about that. But like I said, your dad didn't show up because your dad didn't want to be on camera. And let's be real. Can you blame him? Can you blame him for not wanting to be on camera? So, back over so that's Jason. He gone. He out the way. Back over to Vegas. Ray J has landed. A1 picks him up from the airport. And Ray J is like, look, we need to head on over to the B2K party. And A1 is like, I ain't really trying to go over there because you know what's up. Lyrica's over there. And I ain't really trying to, if it's going to be cool, that's cool, but I don't want to go over there and argue and have no fight with her. And, Ray J was like, look, we need to go on and get this taken care of. Y'all need to go on and resolve y'all issue. So we need to head on over there now. Let's go. Let's roll out. And so they end up going over to the house. Lil Fizz shows up. Lil Fizz is carrying, I thought it was a cat. But then it looked like it might be like a miniature dog. I don't know what that thing was, but he was carrying it. Okay. Lyrica's in a better mood. She's happy, honey. She's smiling. They taking shots. April and Boogie and Mickey had said earlier that day they was gonna take shots every 15 minutes, and they was gonna get lit. It was their last. The concert was that night. It was their last day in Vegas, and they was gonna get it in. So the pool party is going down, and everybody look like they having a good time and all that good stuff. And guess who shows up? A1 and Ray J. Yay. Before we get to that though, Lil Fizz and April have a moment. Lil Fizz is talking about his grandmother who had a heart attack and how, he's happy that the tour is over. And Lil Raz, even though he didn't finish the tour, but they not putting him out the group. They just want him to get some help and let him resolve his, his legal situation that he has going on. But, it's all love and things turned out better than they thought they would and so forth. And, whatever. April was like, well, I'm going to be here for you. Even though, people don't want me to be here, I'm going to be here for you. And it's whatever. You see how excited I am about this episode, right? So then A1 and Ray J show up. And, of course, Lyrica's looking over and like, ugh, he's here. So next thing you know, she's over by herself at the pool party on her phone. And they tell A1, go talk to her, man. Just go talk to her. Go talk to her. So he goes over there to talk to her. He apologizes. He accepts responsibility for what he did. She said, I don't expect you to kiss my feet. I just expect you to at least be sorry. What? She said, I'm not really, I'm not ready to come back home yet, but, I don't want to deny you time with your child, with your son. So for now, the best thing that I can offer to you is, some family time. And maybe we can start there and see where we go. So then he says, well, I do want to kiss your feet. And he starts trying to kiss her feet. And she gets to giggling and, child, you know what that is. It's over. They back together. Whatever. He said, I just want the Lyrica back from 4 years ago when we said our dudes. We were on the same page. We was rocking. Well, that was probably before you cheated on her 3, 4, 10 times. He said he didn't sleep with the girl in Miami, which he might not have. Let's be clear. He may not have. But at this point, people know you have a reputation. People know that you and your wife are having issues. I don't blame Lyrica for believing it. Hell, every other time it's been true. Why would she believe you lying now? But you telling the truth now. But I also see the flip side and say, well, maybe he's not maybe he's not lying. I don't know. I don't even know. So they go to the B2K concert. Everybody has a great time. Lyrica ends up twerking on A1's lap. Ray J gives out his party favors. They go back to the house that night. April and Fizz sleep together. But let's be clear. Does anybody believe that April and Fizz hadn't already been sleeping together? They just slipped up and got drunk and didn't care no more about putting on appearances. And this is the footage that we saw on social media a couple of months ago with Zell and all of them. You know, Zell was like, I caught you. Because we see the flip side of that moment on this episode with Zell busting into their room and like, I caught you. I mean, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. Lyrica says she's excited to go back and she's glad that her and A1 talked and they on better page. And it was funny because Lyrica kept taking forever because they packing up to leave. And Paris is like, come on. And they keep showing Lyrica saying, I'm coming, I'm on my way, I'm coming. And I kept waiting for them to go in her room and see A1 laying up in the bed, right? That's what I kept waiting to happen. I was like, oh, she taking forever to come out her room because she ain't in her room by herself. That's what I kept waiting to see. But I ain't see that. I mean, if they did show that, I missed it. Because I kept waiting. I was like, oh, Lyrica, A1 done spent the night up in the house, up in the crib, and she don't want to open the door and let him see. But anyway, y'all, that's what it is. We got to be coming to the end. It's got to be almost over, right? Right? Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.